Hey, you got stuff in it. When you got angry.
Well, bring it to me then. Right, not so close then. Right, hello everyone. We're on the A40 going into London. I don't know if you watched Subject Access a few days ago when all the Sikhs went down to the Aldwych. It's called Bush House or India House. And the police, it was actually, it's one there, look, filming Angus with all the saffron hanging out. Look, see it? Can they see it? See I think they put, not saffron, I think they put turmeric on their ribbons. There's another one, look. Yeah, see it? They've got turmeric on their cars, turmeric ribbons, or turmeric scarves. And basically, I've just spoke to a couple of them on the motorway. There's another lot, look at their flags, look. See, the Sikhs are a bit like the Scots are allowed to carry a little knife in their turbans as well. So it's this right here. Film them, Angus, as we go past them. They've all got it. Right? So these are all Sikhs. There's about 5,000 of them. Look in there with all the turbans there. All the turmeric. So they're all coming down the motorway today. Now, on Subject Access the other day, is another lot. Look at that lot there, look. Yeah, there's another lot there, look. There's another lot there. They've all got it. They all got the that orangey colour. I think that comes from turmeric. Yeah, there's another look there. So look, there they are, look, can you see them all? Look, there they are, show them that there's Sikhs in the car. Look, in this car, show them. They're all Sikhs, look, everywhere you go on the motorway, right? We spoke to a few of them and they reckon there's about 5,000 coming down today. So they've all got the stuff down. Now, yeah, a few days ago, they went down just after the lockdown, right, and the police completely took the piss out of them. There was about 50 or 60 of them, and they were totally peaceful, and basically they're complaining that the Indian government is taking their land away. This is to build back better. Yeah, this is to build back better, the Great Reset, right? They really want to take all our land away from us. They want you... This is what was supposed to be happening between now and 2030. So none of us have any land anymore. That's communism, in my opinion. You're not allowed to own anything under communism. So this is what they're trying to do, and it's already starting blatantly. It seems like the Hindus might be doing it to the Sikhs. I don't know what the politics of India are, but something's not right. So the police got on to split and try and keep 6 foot away from each other, right? And they started off, there's a whole car of them there, look, they're all there. They tried to keep them so they were 6 foot away from each other, right, or 3 foot away or something. He tried to spread them out, the copper. So the police... Can you be quiet? Look at me, be quiet. Right, so basically, he came back to them 5 minutes later, and they all separated away from each other to keep the social distancing. Then he said, I've been told by my boss he's not happy about this. This is the policeman. The Subject Access got close in, and you heard everything that the policeman kept saying to him. And he went back 5-10 minutes later, and he went, can you divide yourselves up in groups of 6? Because in group tier 2, this is after the lockdown, you're not allowed to demonstrate with more than 6 people. So they all went, oh right, okay, well what do you want us to do? He said, well can you have 6 standing there, and then 6 foot away have another 6, and then another 6, and there was about 50 of them, right? And he said, then you'll all be alright, because you're not more than groups of 6, and we'd be really happy if you do that. So he went, okay, we'll cooperate and do that. Then they done it, right? And it was all away from each other, 6 foot away from each other, in groups of 6. Guess what the police come and said to them then? I've been told, actually my boss is still not happy. So they said, well, what do you want us to do now? He said, you know, you're not really supposed to be demonstrating with more than 6 people. He said, but we just want to make sure you keep your social distancing. So can half of you go on the other side of the road? You know, just go over the other side. So they went, right, okay. Well, if you have a look at the middle lane here, can you have a look at the middle lane here? You've got a bit of a pathway in the middle lane. And in the Aldwych, right, there's a bit. It's not as big as that, but there is a bit of a pavement section and a taxi rank. It's really wide, the Aldwych. It's got 2 or 3 lanes on each side of the road, and it's got a bit of an island in the middle. So they said, okay, well, what do you want us to do? He said, well, can you just go over there? So he wasn't really being specific. So what they did, some of them went into the middle lane, and there was like an island in the middle of the road. So it was totally safe. The traffic wasn't going to run you over. It was on the. There's like a pavement running down the middle of the road. So they'd done that so that they was even keeping more social distancing. Then the police went up to him and said, your mates will stand in the middle of the road. He said, yeah, that's right. But he said, well, it ain't good enough. Got to go on the other side of the road. They said, well, we didn't want to, because the Waldorf Hotel was opposite. That's a well-known hotel, the Waldorf Hotel. So they said, well, we don't really want to upset the Waldorf Hotel people. We're not demonstrating outside the wall. He said, well, you just got to go over there. So eventually they went, all right, okay. Well, they all went outside the Waldorf Hotel. So it was on both sides of the road, in groups of 6. And as I say, there's about 50 of them, right? So you work it out, 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48. There's about 8 groups, 8 or 9 groups of them. And then all of a sudden the police come along. They've done everything the police said. It was all very polite. You could tell that a lot of them had Brummie accents. And that's why I've realised, as soon as I see it, that this lot are all coming down from Birmingham. But, you know, a lot of them were really well spoken, apart from the fact they had a bit of a Brummie accent. Next minute, the couple went up to them and said, we're not really happy because they all had banners. You can't really have banners. You've got to give your banners up. And to be honest with you, you're not allowed to demonstrate at all now. And he said, but you told us to do this. We've told people. Yeah, I know, but, and he pointed out, he said, look, I'm being told what to do by my boss. I said, well, where is your boss? He said, oh, he's up there watching there. They said, where? They said, on the camera. So they went, oh, right, well, can't, and he said, well, no. He said, we now decided. He said, well, my boss has decided. He said, it's not me, it's my boss has decided. You've all got to go. You're not allowed to demonstrate. Now, they was going to stay there for 24 hours. And they literally, it was the way the police done it. It was like, do this first, do that. And it basically took the piss out of them, big time. So he just said, well, we can't have banners, and that bloke over there's got a megaphone thing, a bullhorn. We can't have all that, and basically, if you don't go, we're going to take your details down, fine you £200 each, and if you don't give us your details, we're going to arrest you. So it's as simple as that. So he said, it's up to you now, what you've got to do. So he said, but we just done everything for you. So he said, but he said, you're not allowed to demonstrate. So that was it. And then some of them started walking up and down, crossing the road backwards and forwards, so they couldn't be saying. And in the end, the police was getting the hump of them. Meat wagons started pulling up. There was about 10 meat wagons there, loads of them, more police there than there were demonstrators. And in the end, after about another 10, 15 minutes, they was pushing them down the Aldwych. And that was it, mate. The demonstration was over. And it was all on subject access this thing. The main thing was, there was one guy that wouldn't go, and they arrested him. So they nicked one out of it. So a few of them came back, actually subject access closed the stream down, then he put it back up again about a minute later, because he said it ain't over, he realised someone was being arrested. So, now this is after the lockdown, about 48 hours after the lockdown, 24 hours after the lockdown, which was, I can't remember what day it ended, but it was definitely after the lockdown. That's why the police were saying you could have 6 at a time. Because during the lockdown, you could only have 2 at a time. So, what happened yesterday? You had the anti-lockdown progress in Birmingham, literally no police there. No one said a word. You had the anti-lockdown process march in Stratford, in East London. Both of them were going through shopping centres. One in Birmingham, one in Stratford, in that big, what's that big shopping centre? I forget what it's called now. But it's massive anyway. And of course, they were full of Christmas shoppers. Absolutely full. And the police never even attended these demos and marches. Now, when you think of what happened the previous weekend in London, when the police were beating them all up, this is the total opposite. They never even turned up. Now, why didn't they turn up? And think about, in the middle of all this, the seats got completely mugged off. Right, about 50 odd of them, right? And then basically just bullied by the police, just humiliated, absolutely humiliated. I felt sorry for them, right? And they, at one point, one of the seats even said to him, if we was Black Lives Matter, you'd be taking the knee to us. Look how you're treating us. We've done everything you've asked. We spoke politely to you, and you're just treating us like fools. And that's what the police did do to him. So why has the police tactics changed yesterday to the anti-lockdown process? Is it because there's hundreds of thousands of shoppers out and they don't want to wake up the rest of the people, or what? Did they realise they went too far last week in the lockdown? Because they've done the exact so many shoppers out on the streets today. They couldn't be seen to do anything, so they just decided to do the complete and utter opposite to what they've done the week before. So it's just strange policing. That's all I'm saying. But now the Sikhs are coming down 4,000 or 5,000 handed. I've been assured of that by one of the couple of Sikhs I spoke to, and it looks like it on the motorway. And they're all coming down from Birmingham as well, like they did last few days ago. And I'm sure there's plenty in and around the London area. So this is going to be interesting to see what happens. So I thought I'd go with that stream. Obviously, I'm not going live anymore. But I want to remind everyone I've got 3 channels up at the moment. I've got one called Patriotic Twins, and I've got 2 channels called Patriotic Twins UK. And the reason why I've got 2 channels called Patriotic Twins UK, because I've been struck down on Patriotic Twins and my main channel on Patriotic Twins UK, and they said if I get another strike, they're taking the channel down. So that's I think it's just lifted today. We might be able to put this video up on it by the time we get home. If not, we'll put it on the second Patriotic Twins UK. I put a stream up on it last night. Now, so I'm just reminding everyone, if you look, I've got 3 channels at the moment. So what I will do is I want to also remind people, if they take me down, and this goes for all YouTubers, right? All you got to do is go into the, is it the browser, Aleph?
Yeah.
You go into the browser and you clear the cookies.
No.
Right, go on and tell them where you go. Tell Aleph, point it to Aleph. Go on.
So basically, if you go into your browser, whatever browser you use, and you have to search something up, it doesn't matter what you search up. And then on like your search bar, it'll have a lock pad. Like what's that thing called?
On your search.
A lock. That lock thing.
It's like a padlock.
Yeah, like a padlock. And then you click on that, and at the bottom, you should say clear all cookies and site data. And you can choose what to like clear it on, and then you have to click on it, and then you press clear.
Right, if you just check that the volume's up on Full Blast on this ringers.
Well, that's what we do on the side.
Is it up? Right, then what you have to do then, you have to get a new email, don't you, Aleph?
Create a new email.
Then create a new email, and then they won't recognise you, and you can literally, within minutes of them taking your channel down, come back as the same name. So what I'm saying to you, if you see Patriotic Twins UK disappear, I will come back as Patriotic Twins UK by clearing the cookies, and as Aleph described on your search bar, is it your search bar, Aleph?
Yeah.
The bit that's got the padlock on it.
So you have to search something up first, though.
What do you have to search
So
up?
it doesn't matter if you search up. You can search
Oh right, you just put something in the search, and it all comes up, and then you clear the cookies. Right. Go on. Whatever.
It has a padlock on because we use Firefox. I'm not sure if it's the same with Google Chrome, but I can look when we get home.
So you have to do this on the laptop, don't you?
Yeah, you can do it on a laptop. And so you can search something up, and it should be, if you're on Firefox, it should be on the left-hand side. You should see like a padlock, and then right at the bottom of like this like square thing, it will have this thing called clear cookies and like there you press on that, and I'm not sure if it's the same as Google Chrome though.
Right, okay, right. So the message is basically, we need everyone to be very, very fluid at the moment, like I'm being fluid. I'm going to try and put things up that's going to I'm not doing it, let's get it straight here, right? I'm not trying to upset YouTube. But it's YouTube that are upsetting us by taking our free speech away. Now, I'm not going to let them interfere with my free speech because they're going to take my channel down. But fair enough, they take my channel down, but I will come back like the phoenix from the ashes with the same channel. So I'm not going to get worried, oh my God, I can't do this because I lose my channel. That's pathetic. That's bending to the will of the mainstream platforms of Silicon Valley. I'm not bending to their will. I have my own agenda, and I will put and tell them, Aleph, how you can change. If you get a video that's maybe the doctors are speaking out about vaccines, tell them how you change the format of the video so they can't recognise it.
I don't really know how to change it. I don't know really what I did, but I just messed around with it.
So what do? You have to mess around with the shape of the video.
I don't know what I did, but I did something and it just worked.
Basically, right, okay.
I'll look into it.
Right, so basically you can change, it's like changing the IP address, but you can do it by changing the shape of the video or something like that. And then YouTube doesn't recognise it. So when it goes around banning these, say if a load of doctors speak out about hydroxychloroquine, or they speak out about all sorts of things, right? You can change the shape of the video. You can change the shape of the video, and that will be, they won't be able to recognise that particular video as the one that they banned all over the internet. So it might take them a couple of days before they see it, but by then other people have got it, they're copy and pasting it, and if everyone learns to keep changing the shapes of the video, it's like changing your IP address. That's basically it, isn't it, Aleph?
Well, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so you all have to research to find out that every video that you copy and upload, then you want to put it out. If you change it, then it's not recognised by the algorithms as the video they banned. So they might never ever recognise it. So then that way we're proving that you can't take the videos down because we keep changing them. And if you change them, they don't recognise them, and then we put them out. So everyone has to learn to do this. And then when you see that someone you've been following, you subscribe to, has been taken down, just go back and look for them again, and you'll find them at the same name. I will keep coming back as Patroid Twins UK. So that's what my plan is. So that I don't have to keep telling people, if I get to, like my main channel at the moment has got 278 subscribers. Bearing in mind my first channel had 1,700. That was why I was allowed to stream live. But I'm now on 2 strikes on that channel, and I think today I should be able to start putting things back up on that video channel.
If you get one more strike, then you'll back.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to tell them. But today I'll probably be able to put one more, but I'm not going to stop me putting on something that's controversial. So if they take my channel down, what I'm saying to everyone is subscribe to my other Patroid Twins UK. At the moment, subscribe to all 3 of them. And if that one starts getting 2 strikes, I'll put up another one before it gets taken down. So we've all got to be fluid. But we've put the video up. Trump's coming back. He's defeating them, but he's winning the court cases. I've put up on Patroid Twins UK, the smaller channel, last night. I've put the video up of Trump, what he made last night, up this morning, where he turns round and says to everybody, you do not need a vaccine. He says, yeah, I've got the vaccine. He said, but the truth of it is, and it's such a contagious virus, everyone's got it. Right, where's Joe? Better go and knock him up. Don't start filming. No one people know where he lives. There he is, look.
He lives in Australia.
Right, basically, try not to film his house. Right, get out, Athelstan. Right, so basically, get out, Athelstan. Stop mucking about. It's not a game. So, right, so what was I saying?
I understand.
What was I saying, Aleph?
You're talking about, like, your YouTube.
Oh, yeah, well, Trump. So, Trump, I was talking about Trump, right? So, Trump's put out on the video last night, right, yes, I've got the vaccine. The vaccine's all there. It's fantastic. I've done a great job. I've given you the vaccine in record time. But the truth is, I've had the virus and I'm immune. He says, but isn't it funny? As soon as I get the virus, you're not immune for life anymore. They're saying you're only immune for 4 months. He said, it's rubbish. You're immune for life. So what he's actually saying is, nobody needs a vaccine. This is what he's saying. You need to go and look at it. I've titled it, Trump says you're immune for life once you've had the virus. And that's true. You gain the T cells, and the T cells recognise that virus. And it's the same for the flu, because the coronavirus is a flu virus. Just because it's come from a bat, but what they've done, they've made it more contagious with the HIV that they've added into it. It doesn't give you AIDS or anything like that. It's basically, it's the connectivity. Now, I want to show you something here. We're in the Avenues in Queen's Park. Have a look at this. I showed you this place before. This place here is the home of Queen's Park Rangers Football Club. Can you get on that, Angus? It has now become, can you focus in on it so people can read it? Queen's Park Muslim Centre. Can you read it? Can they read? Can you get it any bigger? Right, give it to me. Give it to me.
Go out.
Right, where's the long one? Right, there it is. There.
Go up to it and that's you, isn't it? Yeah, Joe.
Queen's Park Muslim Centre. There it is. Right, now this is St Jude's. This is St Jude's church. Round the back of it here. I've took you on here before when I've done you a cute. There it is. There. Look. Give us it. This is the home where Queen's Park Rangers Football Club started, right? Right. This is a big church hall, and this was a lovely little, quiet little estate when we were growing up as kids. There's not many Muslims around here, is there, Joe? How many Muslims? What do you reckon? It's not, I mean, the vast majority of people are white around here, aren't they? In Queen's Park Estate, and a lot of them used to be old girls, but there are families around here now, aren't there? So they've had the post office in Lancefield Street, where my mum grew up. That's not big enough. I thought they was going to go into the Lancers pub. I'll go past there and show it to you. But they're not going in the Lancers pub. They're coming out of the post office and they're going to go into the St Jude's Church. And they've already took the cross off the building, which is it's just disgraceful, really. It's disgraceful. Now, she's Karen Buckers, is she your MP? Yeah. Karen Buck's been round here for donkey's years. She was, you know, come on, love, you can get through here. You fucking arse flogging through there. Right, right. So, yeah, they've outgrown the post office. It's not big enough. So they took over St Jude's Hall. And Karen Buck's a hardcore left-wing Labour MP. Would you say she's hardcore left-wing, Joe? Yeah. Yeah, Joe reckons she's hardcore left-wing. Was she a Corbynite or a Blairite?
Well, she's whatever way to win power.
Oh, she's that way. She just wants to be in power. She just wants power, mate. So, yes, she's a career politician. I've seen her. She's been about the donkey's years. So there we go. We're coming round here. I mean, they got rid of that place here, Joe. So right, let's just show you this here. This other Muslim thing here they got. So they're gonna. I mean, the people out there ain't gonna fucking like it, aren't they? Right in the middle of the avenues, aren't they, Joe? Well, there's a few little rails over it. Here it is. There. Show it. Right, this is the Harrow Road Jami Mosque, they call it. This is in Lancefield Street. Can you get it, Angus?
Yeah.
So next door is the Lancers pub, which has been closed down. I thought they'd have that. But obviously that ain't big enough for them either. They want the bloody church hall. The home of Queen's Park Rangers Football Club. So all the QPR supporters need to know this, that the home of Queen's Park Rangers Football Club is being turned into a mosque. It's nice, isn't it, eh? Right, so let's get back to what we were talking about Trump. So Trump's announced to everyone that you don't need the vaccine, right? And you are immune to life. And we forget these basic facts when we're talking about vaccines. It's not about being anti-vaccine or what, right? It's basically you don't need a vaccine for the flu virus either. Because there's probably about 3 or 4 different types of flu viruses, and they're probably very similar to each other. If you've had one, it's probably 80% you get the T cells for that flu virus, and the others are probably 85% similar. So the T cells recognise 85% of it, and they've probably only got to make up about 10 or 15% to duplicate it to fight against it and then kill it. Now that's how it works, roughly, in layman's language, because I'm not a doctor, but I can understand the layman's way of explaining it. And the layman's part of explaining it is that the T cells are the magic cells that duplicate whatever you've had, and you keep that immunity for life. It's a basic medical fact. It's the miracle of our immune system. So that we don't have to. They still kept the Frankfurt closed. Yeah, because you can't have pork pies, you can't have a Scotch egg in there. Oh, closed down for good. Oh, so there's no more pubs left on the Harrow Road. Oh my God. This is the Harrow Road, but the horror road we call it in Paddington. Spot the white man, right? Because we've all moved out of here. This is where I grew up. Look at it all. So and you can't even have a pub here now. The old Prince of Wales, which is a landmark, they've got all the fleur-de-lis outside it. All the paddies drunk in there, didn't they, Joe?
Oh, yeah, near the...
They've got all the fleur-de-lis. They've still kept it there. And it is known as a landmark stop, because that bus stop that's along here somewhere would be known as the Prince of Wales bus stop, wouldn't it? It used to have the Prince of Wales written on the 18 bus. Well, the landmark is, there it is there. Can you see the fleur-de-lis?
Why is it there?
Because it's a pub, and some pubs have been here, you know, for 100 when these buildings were first built.
Why do you tell everybody?
That's why it's a landmark. People understand what a landmark is. I mean, we not even have a police station down here, and crimes and stabbings going on down here every week. Oh, so let's close our road police station. There it is. Look, it says police station above the door. Could you be quiet, Rowan? And it is absolutely closed. There's people living there now. It's, you know, and let's close the second biggest police station in the world. In Britain, which is at the top of the Harrow Road on the corner of Edgware Road. and it's the anti-terrorist police station. Right, all the IRA used to go there, didn't they, Joe?
Yeah,
And on the Paddington Green, on the corner of Edgware Road and Harrow Road, they've closed that down as well. You can't make it up. I mean, where is there a police station in this part of London? Where have you got to go if you want to get to a police station? Do you know, Joe?
I don't know.
Oh, Willesden, Harleston? Fucking hell, what does it all come under round here?
Queen's Park one.
Oh, Queen's Park, which they don't call it Queen's Park, they call it Kilburn. Is that closed down? You're joking.
No.
You are joking.
No.
That's just been built. Fucking hell. This is the police service we're getting. But if you march for a virus that don't hurt you, you'll get fucking dragged off and beaten up. And there's another pub here, the Neild Arms, that's closed down. When you see the film, The Blue Lamp, the Neild Arms is on it here. So there's another Paddy's pub, wasn't it, Joe? Right, so we're going over Lock Bridge here, and this takes us into Paddington West 2, because this is Paddington West 9. Show them the West 9 side there, Angus. So as we go over Lock Bridge here, see where that scaffolding is? That was known as the, what was it called? It was like a cinema or a theatre or something. And in the Blue Lamp film, that's where Dirk Bogarts shot Jack Warner, who was the Dixon of Dock Green, but really it was Dixon of Paddington Green. They wasn't allowed to say it. We're now sort of like in Paddington Green now. This is the West 2 part of Paddington. And you've got Warwick Estate round there. They've had a stabbing down there the other week, I noticed. Yeah, the old pub there. What was that pub called? Got it now.
No.
I forget. There's another pub. They've all got, every single fucking pub's got on the outer road. Of course, if you look at the film, The Blue Lamp, none of these flats are here. This was all fucking beautiful, I don't know, early Victorian houses. They were actually, you get a little taste of it here, what they look like on this road here, Westbourne Terrace Road. Not so much there. They was all a bit like that over there. But if you go up this Westbourne Terrace Bridge Road, is it called? That's the sort of houses they look like there. But they turned into slums, and all the working classes got in them. So they wanted to get the working classes out, so that's what they done.
When was the Blue Lamp film?
It was in the 50s. It was all this A40, the elevated section of the A40, where it ripped the whole lot of Paddington out. So they took the excuse to rip it all up and regenerate it. So here's Little Venice down there. We're down there, Angus. They can all see Little Venice, and that's the canal place. There's a pub. This was a pub, wasn't it? Is that still open? That's gone as well. I wish you put the camera there, because I'm pointing at it. And of course, the other one over there, what was that one called, Joe? Dudley. It's called the Dudley. They called it Dudley House, that block of flats. It's the old Dudley, wasn't it? The Dudley Arms. So right on the corner there, where it says Central Pentecostal, next to it, where the wooden stuff is, that was the Dudley Arms. And this is where the original Paddington Green Nick was, in the Blue Lamp, Joe. Because they've widened Harrow Road, if you look at it, because they put the bloody A40 down the middle of it. And this Paddington Green itself, this is actually Paddington Green. And there's the old Paddington Green Children's Hospital over there, where our mum tonsils out. There they all come in. Look, there's all the Sikhs. Look, see them, Joe? Look, thousands of them. They got done up the other day. Yeah. There's all the Sikhs. It's Paddington Green Oldfield Station. Get on it, Angus. Closed down. Not a police station anymore. Couldn't make it up.
Wait, is that closed down?
Yeah. The second biggest police station in Britain, next only to Scotland
How long has
Yard.
it been closed down for?
Here I'm all bibbing. I think that's all the Sikhs, you know. The Sikhs are going down to the Aldwych. I'm good mind to go down there and support them.
About 4.
Anyway, I think the Sikhs can fight their own battles, aren't they? I wonder if they have their little daggers in their turbans, like the Scots can carry them in their socks.
When we went down to Grimsby and we saw that guy and then he pulled out his little dagger in his turban.
Yeah,
I remember that.
yeah. Right, so basically, getting back to Trump, right? Trump's won. You've all got to go and watch the video on Alex Jones. What's it called again? What's the title of that video, Alif?
Can't remember.
It's on December the 3rd. On not Alex Jones, on Mike Adams, naturalnews.com. I've already told everyone about it. And you go into Brighton.com on his website, and then he's got a list of videos. You go to the one that's on the 3rd of December. Come on, Alif, what does it say?
I can't remember.
Oh, well, I can't remember what it is, but anyway, it's about he analyses Trump's speech that he made a few days ago, and he done it live on the television. I've put it up on one of my platforms. I can't remember which one of my YouTube channels I put it up. But what Mike Adams says, that wasn't just a speech. That was actually illegal for legalistic. He was making declarations that he is going to have Insurrection Act. He is going to invoke the Insurrection Act and things like that. And therefore, look at that, the Sikhs are getting out. Look at them, look. Don't let the police run you off today like they did a few days ago. We was watching it. I watched it on YouTube. Good luck. Fucking hell, they're all there, aren't they?
But they've all got me daggers.
What?
But they've all got me daggers.
Oh, they got 4,000 or 5,000 out today. Thousands of them.
What do they mean by a standard farmers? Oh,
What?
I know what it means. It means that it says no farmers, no food, because they're not...
We saw what happened on YouTube when the police run your guys off a few days ago. But today you're bringing how many you're coming down with today? Thousands today. So the police won't be running them off today.
Yeah.
You know, they're not Muslims. They don't go around causing trouble. And in the British Empire, fucking hell, they was as loyal as the Gurkhas were. And they're great warriors. And actually, they were very peaceful, and the police just completely took the piss out of them. So look, we all got to understand, right? If you look at Trump's rally yesterday, right? Trump's won this, right? And Mike Adams explains why Trump has won this. He wants to do it through the court system with the Supreme Court judges, but you never know how much corrupt the Supreme Court judges are. So he's gonna activate the foreign insurrection, or foreign. It's called something where it's a Foreign Interference Act. He activated his executive order in 2018, so he can invoke that, and he can also invoke the Insurrection Act. And these give him, through the Constitution, which is totally legal, he can actually overturn the general election, because he swore an oath to protect the Republic and its Constitution from foreign and domestic enemies, foreign and enemies at home, enemies abroad and enemies at home. And we all know that Joe Biden is a Chinese communist puppet. So it is impossible. Oh, look at the Sikhs there, look! Oh my God, they're fucked today, mate. Oh, look at that lot there, look! To the Punjab! Yeah. So they fucked it this time, the old Bill. They fucked it. You've got to go and look at Subject Access's video a few days ago. They completely took the piss out of it. It was absolutely, it was horrible, really. It wasn't very nice, because we've experienced it as well. So Trump has the ability to literally overturn the general election anyway. He doesn't have to accept the general election, because there has been foreign interference. And I'll tell you one example, that Dominion computers, right, had 800 million put into their account overnight, $800 million, and we know where $400 million come from. Wait, be quiet. Sit on the chair properly and put your seatbelt on. Marina, knock it on the head. No, we're on the main road, right, and you get in trouble. Right, 400 million went into Dominion Computers' account, and it came from the Chinese Communist Party. So I said to Dan, but there was 800 million. So he said, yeah. So I said, we can guess where the other 400 million come from, but we ain't got the proof of it yet. I guarantee you it's from George Soros. So I reckon George Soros and the Chinese Communist Party went half each in funding the... So that is straight away, that is... The Dominion Computer are the ones that rigged the election and flicked all the votes, and the Chinese Communist Party give them $400 million, and it's a proven fact. Trump has got the server from Frankfurt, where there was a big shootout between CIA operatives and Trump's elite military squad, and they got the server, and guess what, Joe? The woman that was in charge of it, I forget her name, Mike Adams tells you her name, guess where she was taken? She was there. They took her away. Guess where they took her? They took her straight down to Guantanamo Bay. She was questioned, heavily questioned, and guess what she done? 100% completely and utterly admitted, pleaded guilty to it all, and she's asked for a deal. She's told them everything. So on them grounds alone, Trump can overturn the general election. But it won't get reported in mainstream news. He has the right now through the Foreign Interference Act. He has the right to overturn. The general election is totally fake. Trump has won. It's just a matter of, but he wants to go through the process to not be seen as a dictator, because he can militarily put the whole country in a military martial law, and he can ignore the Supreme Court judges. He can ignore the general election. There's no way on earth that Joe Biden can ever be president of the United States. It's just not a chance on this earth. That man is a total, and it's just like Boris Johnson. And I guarantee you that Boris Johnson has to go once Trump comes officially back, because he has twice now interfered with the American general election. The first time, I'm going to go through it again, I'm going to keep repeating it, was in 2016 when he was the Foreign Secretary and GCHQ answered directly to the Foreign Secretary before they answered to the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is the greater authority, obviously, but he's the one that deals with Robert Hannigan, the head of GCHQ at the time. And they is Barack Obama, Joe Biden as Vice President, Hillary Clinton, right, in 2016, can you get Christopher Steele, the old MI5 operative who knew everyone on the Russian desk, who set up his own private company because he always seemed to be doing little special deals for the Americans when they didn't want to get their own people involved in it. And he done a fake dossier on all the Russian double agents that he knew to make up stories about Trump when he went to visit Moscow, like Pissgate and all that. They pretended he went with prostitutes, and they done, I don't want to say it in front of the kids. And also, they made all fake stories up about Trump being controlled by Putin and everything. It's all been proven to be lies, so it doesn't matter. It's all fake, because they never stopped for 4 years. About 3 years it took to prove it. Robert Mueller inquiry. Oh, well, Trump will tell you how much money, $48 million, 500 people. It just went on and on, 500 witnesses. It just goes on and on and on. So in the end, right, they proved that Russiagate was all a lie. But before that happened, Christopher Steele made the fake dossier, and of course Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton ain't going to come over to London, because that's where Christopher Steele was, and they had to meet the British government to get permission to get GCHQ to bug Trump Tower during the general election of 2016, when Trump was a candidate, when Trump was a president-elect, and then when Trump was the president. That is an act of war against America. And it was all given permission by Boris Johnson as Foreign Secretary, interfering with the American general election in 2016 for Barack Obama, for Joe Biden, for Hillary Clinton, right, to stop Trump winning. But they couldn't find nothing on Trump Tower. They have the ability at GCHQ to listen to every phone call in the world, every text message in the world, every email in the world, everything that you do on a social network platform, they can listen to it, right? And they listen to everything. They haven't got anything, right? So, what happens when Trump gets inaugurated on the 20th of January 2016? What happens 72 hours later? Robert Hannigan, head of GCHQ, resigns for personal reasons, but we all know what the reasons really were. And who does he write his letter to? He writes it to the Foreign Secretary. Who was the Foreign Secretary? Boris Johnson. So that's the interference of the first time. The second time he interferes, right? So remember, Robert Hannigan writes his letter of resignation on the 23rd of January 2016, 72 hours after Trump gets inaugurated on the 20th of January 2016. Right? That's the real reason why he resigned, because they were spying on him, spying on Trump Tower. Now, the second time he interferes was when you get a TV-chosen president-elect, and that's what's happened now. He is not the president-elect, because nothing's been certified. Some of them actually have been certified and they've been reversed, and there's other places around the country where have been certified, but the battleground states, there's 6 states that decide who wins this election, and they tried to certify him because they bribed people like Brian Kemp, who's the state legislator of Georgia. And now he's been proven, because they've seen all the vote rigging where they've had ballots hidden and everything under tables and brought them all out in the middle of the night to count them when there's no one there, which is illegal, because you can't count ballots when there's no one there. You've got to have. But we know that none of the ballots have been counted in front of the postal ballots and all that sort of stuff. None of them have been counted. None of them have been counted in front of both sides. Because, why? because they've all been fake ballots. They've all been postal ballots. They haven't been signed properly. The signatures don't match. They've got the wrong dates on them. They're post date. Pennsylvania court passed a thing where you can have a ballot after the 3rd of November. Well, it's not really for Pennsylvania to do that. It's a constitutional thing. You can't do it in your own Supreme Court. So they can't make the laws. So Boris Johnson knows all this constitutional stuff. He's not stupid. So he knows that they haven't been certified, and yet he interferes again and puts the full weight of the British government behind backing Joe Biden. Why? Because like Joe Biden, he's a Chinese communist puppet. He's been bought and paid for, just like David Cameron, just like Theresa May. They're all swamp creatures. The Conservative Party, just like Brian Kemp, who's a Republican state legislator, and he couldn't wait to certify Pennsylvania, and Trump let him certify it, and then Trump proved that proved then that he was corrupt because he knew about. Oh no, I'm there first. I was there before. I'm going over there. As soon as this car goes out, I'm going in there. Yeah, but I don't think I'll fit in there. No. I've been over there. You've just come along. Go back. You go back. No, I've been here first. Oh, these fucking people, they make me fucking sick. You're not getting there, love, so forget it. It doesn't matter, she can go up there. Fucking piss takers, these people. Fucking sitting there for 5 minutes, she comes along and thinks she can have it. Not happening. I was in Sainsbury's yesterday, some fucking woman jumped in front of me at Sainsbury's.
Oh, yeah. People just like jumping in front of
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. I can't get in here. Why, she can have it. Go on, you can have it.
You look so hurt.
Can't fit in it.
You look hurt so hurt.
No, you know what? I don't mind her having it, but she's not fucking jumping in front of the queue. Mate. Not having people fucking nicking the queue space. So, so Boris Johnson is, he's illegally put his full weight behind the British government, backing a man who's totally compromised. Yes, right, really selfish. But this is what we're putting up with. So what I'm trying to say here, Trump's already won now. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when Trump takes back control. And the process is going to be long. It might go right up to the 20th of January. Everyone has to be patient, right? And the reason why they have to be patient is because Trump doesn't want to go down the military road where he can completely annul the election. Trump doesn't want to do that, but he will do it if necessary because he's promised to protect the Republic from foreign and domestic enemies. So he is just waiting and trying to go through the process, and he's going to give a case because you never know if the Supreme Court is either compromised or being blackmailed. The Supreme Court judges, but he has the power to overrule them. But he would rather the Supreme Court judges, and being as he's got the majority 5-4, and they all hate the Democrats, really, if you get them on their own, because the Democrats give them such a fucking hard time, like Kavanaugh, when he became the Supreme Court judge. Even Amy Coney Barrett, she was given a hard time. Yeah. Oh, come on. Right, we've got a parking space this time. Go on in, you go. I'm in there, mate. Fucking hell, Joe. I was in there like...
Yes.
So that was that. So,
our mission is complete.
So on that one, right, I think I'll close this stream down because we pulled up, and we might do another stream that the kids can do down the market today.
We can do one now. I'm not
All right, do you want to carry it on?
Yeah.
Can we get our new battery pack out then and put it on the... Where's the battery charger?
Well, I put it...
Don't worry, I got it out.
Right, bring the long cable. Someone hold the long cable.
Okay.
Right.
I'm
Yeah, hold on, Nick. Come on, try and park up still.
What's the percentage? Okay.
Right, so that's it really. What I'm trying to say here, can you just put this back onto me? I just want to say one more thing about Boris Johnson. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And you know what, so what if he gives us a hard Brexit, right? I'm not really bothered about that at the moment because, you know, I think Boris has got no choice but to give us a hard Brexit now because of the things he's done, locking us down twice and everything. He's shown himself and he wants to push this vaccine, which is poisonous, which we don't need because it's so contagious, this vaccine. We've probably got 70-80% herd immunity already. And if you've got herd immunity, it can't spread within the community. And we know that all the tests are false positives, so we don't need the vaccine. So the point I'm trying to say here, can you be quiet please? The point I'm trying to say, you don't need the vaccine, right? So because you've got herd immunity, and you've got immunity if you yourself, or you'll be amongst 70 or 80% of the population because it's so contagious. So therefore, there's there that Boris is letting us down. But he has to resign because obviously he's interfered with the American elections for the second time. So you will find that Boris is a dead man walking. Right, thank you very much. That's me done.
Should I end it?
No, it's up to you. No, someone else wants to do it. I'm going to go and put some money in.
I was saying can stream. Okay.
I'm streaming.
Right. Hold stick it. I'll stick this in here.
And put it in my pocket.
Right.
Yeah?
Check. Go out. Go on the home.